This is different than the last background that you had. You have art and a bookcase in the background.
Yeah, because I moved it around because I had to have a better background for those NBA app pregame shows.
Yeah.
I've seen a stunning number of people not identify Jimmy Butler behind
It's
you.
obviously Jimmy Butler.
It's obviously Jimmy Butler.
I know. I've seen multiple people be like, "Who is that?" and then throw out some random names. It's like, no, it's Jimmy James.
Clearly Jimmy. It looks just like him.
It looks exactly like him.
Yeah.
And it is still my dream to come to all of y'all's houses and build out the perfect scene background in a way that is, you
come to LA, done.
Like this. Yeah.
The job is yours.
I'm like, I cannot wait. It is going to happen at some point.
Yes.
But it's just, honestly, you guys do this professionally. Like, I need this for you guys.
Yeah.
I'm a little too on my keyboard, but I've been thinking of like setting up like a designated recording chair where I'm fully removed from the keyboard and the screen. But then if I need to like write something down, I don't know. Then it might be awkward.
No, it's yeah.
Do my job. Yeah,
I know.
Might be tough.
God, what is that?
Tough.
Could be a little tricky.
All right, Zach, the moment we've all been waiting for. I'm going, and I've written 4 things down for you to rank about how much you hate.
Only 4
from the things you're going to hate the most.
All right.
Yes, about our favorite thing to do.
About what?
About the wedding that I went to last weekend.
Oh my God.
Where I believe, and I'm sure this won't be the thing that Zach hates the most, where I believe I got COVID.
Yeah, no, you definitely got COVID there.
I definitely 100%. Got COVID at this wedding.
100%, yeah.
There was a welcome event on Friday. There was the wedding on Saturday. Started feeling symptoms on Tuesday.
100%.
Did not do anything else really Sunday, Monday. So that was
you could have licked a Subway wedding. Floor, and I would have said no. You still got it.
It was still the wedding. Yeah.
But the 4 things that I'm going to give you.
Okay.
And I just want to say, first of all, love you, Tim and Gia. Great wedding. Love you both.
Let's qualify it. Yes. Tim and Gia,
this
amazing.
Is not my
Congratulations.
Opinion.
I bet it's going to last, despite
I had
most
a great time.
marriages not. Yes.
I think you're
my ass in a great spot. Yeah.
Despite apparently getting COVID, I killed it. Everybody loved it. You were surrounded by people that supported you and loved you. Now we're going to get to what Zach hated the most about it. So they had their own billboard above the wedding venue because the wedding venue was at their studio. It's a kind of funny games. It's a YouTube show about video games and lots of other stuff. So above their studio in Daly City, they had their own billboard for their wedding.
I don't love that.
Number 2, Cisco attended and performed Wild Wild West.
You're not allowed to perform Wild Wild West without Will Smith. I'm sorry.
Well, what if the groom stumbled through rapping the Will Smith part?
Oh my God.
Does that make it better?
I don't love that.
And can I tell you, Zach, that when the music started, all I could think of was...
You unbelievable, man.
That's honestly my favorite reel that I've ever made. I haven't made a lot of reels. That's my favorite reel.
So Cisco was there. When I walked in, I saw Cisco. I saw Hunter Pence almost immediately.
Wow.
Hunter Pence didn't perform? Didn't take some batting practice?
Pence was legitimately there. They're friends with Hunter Pence. They hang out with Hunter Pence.
So this wasn't like a paid appearance kind of thing. Like
Cisco, I wasn't sure until I saw him literally sitting around until he performed, and then he left.
Nobody's friends with Cisco. So that's absolutely a paid appearance. Yes.
Cisco was there to do one thing, and that was not sing Thong Song, which was a huge upset.
I mean, that's better.
Is it?
If he had been yelling at the bridal party, "Let me see that thong," I don't know. That could have bumped him up. Yes. It was Wild Wild West.
Does Cisco still have it?
He danced. He was dancing. I mean,
that didn't answer my question.
Like, this wasn't a fair evaluation of where he's at. I don't think it was. I think it was. It was going to be like a minute. It was like a minute.
Really?
Yeah, he just got up and sang the hook to Wild Wild West, danced a little bit. I think he did like a handstand for like a hot second, and that was that.
All right, that's not
So
bad.
he still got it.
He's in shape. Yeah, he's all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, that's number 2. Cisco attended and performed. Number 3, the first dance.
Oh no.
Was Dance Dance Revolution Heaven.
That's gonna be tough to beat. That's gonna be tough to beat.
I'm even a Dance Dance Revolution nerd, and like
that's gonna be tough to beat.
I can't even finish my sentence.
The set of the studio is like it's like a 3-paneled.
Just left it hanging out there, just like, you know what? That's enough.
Yep.
I've said enough on that.
It's a 3-paneled screen, like a full, LED panel.
I don't care how nice the setup is.
No. I'm just explaining.
Oh, okay. All right.
Like, so when
you're not trying to sell me on it, you're just giving me the full picture.
When Cisco is dancing, like the Wild Wild West video is on them in the background, and when they did Dance Dance Revolution, it was on the screen, and they set up the fucking pads on the floor, and they did it like it's not like they're doing it on a machine or like on a TV or whatever.
Right.
Okay. And then this is the one, like they were hyping this up, I guess, on their show for a long time.
Okay.
And then on Friday night, the groom was going around hyping it up.
Mm-hmm.
And then he tweeted this. The special guest officiant we have for this is, without question, the most unbelievable thing we've ever pulled off actually making happen.
Okay.
The officiant was a pre-recording of himself. So the person that married him to his wife was him. Appearing through a Doctor Strange portal on the screen.
And I just want to say, if anyone is doing audio only for this podcast, like, please go look at Zach's facial reactions, expressions.
I legitimately have
presents
to
every single one of these.
I legitimately have to calm myself, like bring my blood pressure down, as you've told me the Doctor Strange portal, because you know how I feel about that shit.
I mean, I'm leaving shit out. I want you to know.
Yeah,
you asked me to put 4.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. All right, fourth worst.
Yeah,
is the Billboard.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fourth worst. I feel very firm in that. Like that's the least offensive of those 4 things.
I think I have to agree. Yeah.
I don't love it, but it's
the least. It's the lessest of of all the evils, or whatever the saying is.
Yes. No, you got it. You got it. Yes.
The lessest.
Yeah. Okay. How long was this performance of Wild Wild West?
I mean, it couldn't have been more than 5 minutes.
So he went through the whole song.
I mean, I really remember. It's like he came out and rapped the beginning, and then Cisco came out and did his thing, and then it was over.
The hook.
So I think it was pretty much. It could have been 3 minutes.
Okay. That will be third.
Okay.
That will be third.
Yeah. Yeah.
Moment of truth.
So Dance Dance Revolution for the first song. So this is like just let's all get on the same cultural page here, right? I don't know how it is in different cultures, but I know in the majority of American wedding culture,
yes,
that first dance is supposed to be romantic. It's supposed to be loving. It's supposed to be connected. Sometimes it'll be choreographed, but sometimes it's just a simple, like, we're just holding each other. We're so happy we're here. Look at our families surrounding us, right? Like
this is a song that's really meaningful to us.
Song
People
that's
should be
like this,
clasping their hearts and bringing almost to tears. Like,
no matter what the song is, it's obviously a song that's very just poignant and impactful and represents that couple, right? And their love for each other and their history together and their future together. Like that's and they took that cultural moment and they played Dance Dance Revolution.
Yeah.
What was the song?
Heaven.
Bryan Adams, like the Dance Dance. The Dance Dance Revolution remix.
How do you Dance Revolution? Oh, I didn't know. So that's in the game. That's in the game. Okay,
yeah, in the game.
Women heaven.
Do we have an example of what that? Because I'm guessing it's like sped up.
It wasn't Sandstorm, which was an upset. Because if it was Sandstorm, I think that would be number one with the bullet. But at least it was a semi-romantic song.
Just the idea of that has me so upset.
I mean, Dance Dance Revolution comes from my culture, and I'm like, offended at the situation.
The fact is Eden is cringing through this.
I wanted to crawl into a hole as Maze was talking about it.
This will shock people. Eden's a better person than I am, and so Eden's going to extend more heart to things in a way I would never even consider. Right? Like she's a good person. She's going to be as understanding as possible. Yes, she gets annoyed. She gets perturbed. She, has her frustrations in life with culture and people and whatever. But for the most part, she will approach it with, hold on, now let's try to understand this for them. Right?
Try.
Me, not so much. Me, I'm not always in that mode. I'm not often in that mode. I do like that song.
It's not a bad song it's not a bad song at all.
Like the song, like if you were
one more detail.
Uh-oh. Oh no.
He got it perfect.
What was the level though?
That I don't know.
These are all details that infuriate me.
He got it perfect.
I don't care that he got it perfect. I don't care if it was on easy, medium, difficult. That bothers me. That actually upset me quite a bit. I do like that song. I like it less now.
It's a classic.
I really like that's on my like main playlist.
It's a great
Spotify.
song.
It's an all-time love song. All-time banger.
Holds up after the years.
Holds up completely. What is it? 30 years later? 40 years later? When did that song come out? Like the 80s or something?
Good, yeah.
Still a banger.
Still good.
Is it slow? Is it slow? Dance like
no, it's
so it's sped up and it's
they weren't going
the EDM
crazy.
Remix.
They weren't going crazy.
But the original song is a ballad.
I mean, it's like an
DDR version. It's the EDM version.
I'm guessing he practiced it.
He must have practiced it to get it perfect.
100%.
Do you know how hard it is to get perfect, no matter what level it is?
They both
got perfect as well.
No, she did not.
I wanted to follow up and ask that also because that's also not a good look. Like
you
one
can't
person
outperform your wife.
I know.
Yeah,
that's what
you can't do that.
It's okay. All right.
If you see that she messed up, you got to mess up a step. Like you got to.
You gotta give her that.
Yeah.
Like, is this a partnership or what? Like,
I guarantee he's checking as he's doing his stuff. He's also got a peripheral on that. Yeah. And the second you see that she's messed up, you gotta throw a little bit of the game.
Exactly. Are you a gentleman or not? Like
chivalry's not dead.
Chivalry, whatever. Yeah.
Now this guy, for weeks, hyped up on the podcast or Twitch or what is it?
Potentially for months. I'm not sure how long he was hyping it up, but
that the officiant that they got for the wedding is the greatest thing they've ever pulled off.
Yes.
Do we think that something fell through so he had to struggle?
No.
That's upsetting.
Yeah, it's extremely upsetting.
And there was a Doctor Strange ring portal thing. And I'm guessing obviously this is pre-recorded, so he's making sure that they've got the beats and everything. So this is rehearsed, obviously.
Oh God.
Yeah. They paused it at any point, or was it perfectly timed?
No, they nailed the timing.
That's number one.
It's even worse. It makes it even worse.
That's number one. That's number one.
It's
if you can't have a moment where you fuck up the like Jurassic Park, right? The intro video of Jurassic Park where John Hammond is on screen and he's talking and everything, and he realized, oh no, I've got words here. Yeah, you gotta. There's a little bit of charm to that, a little bit of entertainment value to that, whether it's genuine or not. I think you got to be self-deprecating that way.
Yeah.
This is so much performing a solo human centipede on yourself.
Oh God, what an amazing analogy. That is so apt.
This is the most upsetting. The thing that's saving the dance from being number one is the fact that it is a song I like.
Yes.
But there is nothing I enjoy about number one in the slightest. You had the right order. That's 4, 3, 2, 1.
I hate it so much.
That's anger liftoff for me in terms of what so that. Much. Yeah, that is truly abhorrent.
Like it's one thing to just do it, but like the hyping up of it.
That's the thing. If it was just like, you know what,
if he hadn't said anything.
And it was just funny. Like, honestly, it would have been funny.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. But the fact that he was going around on Friday night being like, you're never going to believe who we got.
And that's yes.
It's just like too much, like.
It's too masturbatory.
Too much. I didn't want to, you know me. I think I use my words very carefully.
Eden is a better person than I am. This dude's just jacking off.
There was also
population. He's the mayor.
Their whole intro, like they basically there was they have 2 Pomeranians. There was like a edit of one of their Pomeranians, like Godzilla, stomping around San Francisco. There was a lot going on,
and this was going on. This was twitched. This was live streamed.
It was. I tried to look and see if there was the stream on YouTube like the day after or something. And I couldn't find it, but I will try again to find some of it.
I wouldn't mind. Now, this is, again, we're so happy for you.
So happy for them. Yeah. So happy.
I am genuinely happy for them.
Sure.
You don't have to say that, but
57% of marriages end, but I'm so happy for them. Like they'll probably make it. If they don't, for whatever reason, right? I would like to watch that ceremony after.
Oh wow. Wow.
And you do a live stream reaction video to it.
I will live stream the fuck out of that. But we hope that it lasts.
We hope it lasts forever. We believe
horrific, terroristic decisions to celebrate the union of your 2 lives, of your love, of your commitment. Those just absolutely just irredeemable decisions you made.
Irredeemable. They were absolutely irredeemable.
We wish you the best, but you have to know how terrible that is on every level.
Mo and Jamie, balls in your court. Welcome to the Friday mailbag. It's Friday.
I love the idea that you think Mo has any kind of control over anything in his life.
Jamie, balls in your court.
Oh my God.
We got a bunch of good questions here we got to get to after that thrilling wedding breakdown. So, Deli Platter wants to know, what is the most...
I still want to crawl into a hole. I'm sorry.
What is the most used emoji on your phone?
Ooh.
Crying laughing.
So I think mine is it is actually the sobbing emoji, but because I use it so interchangeably for so many different things, like because you could be crying, you could be laughing, you could be crying over something serious, you could be crying over something not serious. Like it's, this little guy.
Oh
yeah.
I feel like he's just so versatile. Like
very
so
versatile. Yeah. Mine's the like clearly crying, laughing one, but not
the
tilted.
Sideways one or
no, just straight on. Yeah.
Because I'm like, those two, do y'all have a preference between the tilted guy and the not tilted guy? Because
I like sending the non-tilted. When I receive the tilted, I'm like, oh, that really got them. It kind of makes me feel better. Yeah. But I never use it. I literally never use it.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I mean, I feel like it's got to be those or like one of the heart ones. But.
I use the siren emoji a lot. I use the double eyes emoji.
The eyes is good. The eyes is great. I use the eye roll emoji also quite a bit.
I use the facepalm quite a bit. Yeah.
Facepalm is great. Facepalm is iconic, all timer. So I don't know if I've dropped any of these into the group. I feel like I must have at some point, but my brother has this app that makes like hybrid emojis from like the existing emojis. And this is like one of my favorite ones to use where it's like the eye roll.
I don't like that.
Eye roll, tears.
That's upsetting. I don't like that. No, that made me uncomfortable.
It's also that it's so big, it's not.
Let me see if I can find a couple
size,
more
it's
good
like
ones.
The image cut out. I mean, is the middle finger a legit one now, or did they take it away? Or was that always a fake one?
It's still there.
Wait, it's there?
That one's solid.
I'm pretty sure.
No, I think.
I don't.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I got it right here.
Angry puking? That's scary.
I got it right there.
Oh, I see it. Okay, you're right. Right.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
I think because it's not with the pointing up, pointing down.
Right.
Yeah. I was like, I saw it after. Also, like, I feel like I never noticed when new emojis are added for like weeks, and then they just like pop up on your phone unceremoniously. Like, don't you guys think that I should get a pop up telling me like exactly which new emojis were added so I can actually add them into the rotation? Like,
give me an update like I'm getting downloaded content for a video game.
Exactly.
Here's what we updated. Here are the emojis. This is where you can find them.
Yeah.
Because I never know. I'm like you. I never know until someone sends me something I haven't seen before, and they're like, "Oh shit, there are new emojis."
Yo, and the crazy thing is sometimes they show up different times on macOS versus iOS. So sometimes you get it on your computer first, and then you don't have it on your phone, and you're like, what the fuck? When did this emoji even start being used? Like, and it's just like, we need a changelog for this. This is a very important part of our daily vernacular at this point.
Or if you're someone who has a personal laptop that's a few years old and you are terrified of updating the system because it already just drains the battery and is falling apart left and right. Then you never update that software.
Never update. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Eden, there's too many emojis now to give you the update all the time. But I just sent you guys a dodo bird. I didn't know that. I didn't know that was there. I didn't know that was a thing. There's a whole bunch of animals, and there's a sloth, there's a dodo bird, there's a phoenix, there's an otter cracking a clam on his tummy. That's a good one. But,
and then like I feel like food hasn't gotten that many updates. Like
no. It has not.
Yeah. At least of foods that I would use. Like
no, these are pretty much the same. I mean, we got some beans here.
Can of tomato soup. Do you know that was there?
We've got a steaming pie.
Can of tomatoes.
That's nice. Ooh, can of tomatoes.
Yeah, I didn't know that was
certified fresh.
Okay, maybe the empty jar is new too. I don't know that I noticed that one before.
Anything. That could even be a jar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that could just be a jar.
What is that? Is that a shopping cart? What is that?
No, Zach, I just noticed that one too, and I'm like, I have no idea what it is.
Is that a butterfly net?
Oh no, it's a glass pouring.
Being poured. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, like maybe you're pouring one out for somebody.
But why is it in the food section then? Shouldn't it be?
Oh, that's very weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. The most of the time that I use emojis now is trying to come up with an emoji to describe the Cinephobe movie.
Nice.
Trying to express the Cinephobe movie in 2 emojis is my challenge.
Only two?
Tough.
Wow.
It's tough.
Because I feel like with 3 or 4, you have a lot more wiggle room, a lot more flexibility to get creative. But 2 is tough. Like,
well, it's just got to be like an accent. It doesn't have to explain the whole plot of the movie, but it's got to give you some idea. Like, obviously, Madam Werb was very easy. Spider and Werb. Done. Surviving the game, I put bullseye and pig. Because I couldn't, it's either that or put like the water gun, and I didn't want to do that. And then, keep going down the line. What was before that one? It was Airheads was easy. Guitar, radio, done. So sometimes it's doable. Sometimes it's a little more challenging than others.
But that's what makes it fun.
That is what makes it fun. All right.
Have you ever tried asking ChatGPT to help?
Never. I will never ask that company, that person, that individual, that application. I don't use ChatGPT. I don't know. Am I missing out?
Honestly, I'm not going to lie. Like, I know what it's capable of. I still don't use it because it doesn't write an email better than I do. Like, I know people have gotten great things out of it. I'm just also like, I'm also like really effing great at writing emails to begin with. Like, I'm really good at writing and I'm really good with my words. I feel like it's great for people that maybe aren't, but all of us here, obviously, we're great with communication and like words, especially as we want to express things in our own tone. And I often feel like I try it, I test it, I like to keep up to date with what it can do, but like it's just still not done a better job than I have, even if it does take me longer. But I'm just like, I know how I want to communicate, and like the 5 minutes of corners that I'd be cutting and using ChatGPT, just like usually I'm just like mad that I like spent the 5 minutes seeing what it would give me and ending up not using it and then being like, great, this is why I still have a job.
Yeah, that's the thing is like I've had people ask before, like, are you worried about your job with like, you know, AI and ChatGPT and everything? And I'm like, as long as people still want what I do, I don't think you can replicate that with that stuff because I try to write so conversationally. Like if you're looking for like, oh yeah, this thing's perfectly written. Like it's not really my style. Like I like it. I want it to feel like something different, right? Especially with the newsletter. And so to me, I'm just like, yeah, this is like, sure, you could replace a lot of people with self-checkout, but you can't replace customer service and customer care with self-check. Like that's the kind of thing I view it as, right? Like a more personalized touch. If you're just looking for a game recap, you can do all that bullshit by plugging it in. Like that's been around forever.
Replaced with ChatGPT?
I mean,
Woj. Think about that. Think about that. Think about that. What if we just sent all our transactions through AI? What if we just did it like that?
I have so many jokes here that I'm just going to choose.
I know. I can like see them in your face. Then you're just like,
like, how much trouble do I want to get in today? No, I gotta pick it.
Mark has a question that hits a little too close to home when he says, can podcasts become too inside baseball to grow their audience?
Yeah, for sure. I think there's a struggle in staying true to what you've built as an insular like community versus what is easy to jump into. I think there are ways to get around that. I think ultimately, whenever I jump into a pod that's been going for a while, I think the energy is what gets infectious, right? So like, it was like I don't know how many episodes, like years in before I got into the podcast Bad Friends, right? Now that's a little easier, but there's characters, there's producers that you have to learn and everything, right? And so, I missed some things at first, but I got acclimated pretty quickly. To me, it's about like, are they clearly having fun? Is there energy there? Is it something where you feel it's a weird thing of like, you're obviously observing in some way, whether through watching it or listening to it, but do you feel like you're within that observation at the same time? I think if you can pull that off, and I think for the most part, we've done a good job of that with Cinephobe. At times, not so much, but as long as you can kind of find some kind of balance within that, then I think you can make it work. But there's absolutely a plateau with that.
Yeah.
For almost every podcast, in terms of enough variety and openness to bring in people who would just be casually checking it out for the first time.
And I do like feel like you guys do a really good job with the Cinephobe audience, just because like we keep seeing it grow, for one. So it's just like the fact that you're getting new listeners on a regular basis, people are getting it. Like, and like, I do think it's just such like a fine line, a fine balance, because it's like the inside jokes and the references are what makes a show good in general. And then it's like, there's just no easy way to fully onboard people to it.
And I think there's something we could do a better job of promoting this, but Maze had a great idea years ago where we did like the glossary episode, right? So it was like, oh, are you new to Cinephobe? Check this out. This is how like some of these jokes came about. These are like some of the terms and everything. I think if a podcast can do that and have that available, we should probably promote that more often. You know, or like attach it or something.
Refreshing it. I mean, we need to do another one. We need to do another appendix to it.
Honestly, we could redo it completely of it, explaining them and having me guess where it came from, and
That'd
I still wouldn't know. I still wouldn't know. And I already did that the first time, and I think I did okay with it. But for the most part, there were ones where I'm like, I have no idea where we got that from. I don't know.
But I feel like that also kind of drives home the point that it's like you don't actually need to know specifically what the reference is.
Right?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like it's like you are on the show and you don't even know.
Right. Like I don't know. We just started making that joke at some point. That's
yeah.
I mean,
but I also feel I just do also feel like the people that are going to get the show, like using Cinephobe, for example, like they're going to push through like and eventually learn them. Or like there's just like things like Reddit where you can actually like just ask like for someone to explain a reference if you're really still not getting it. And if you care enough to ask, like, you know, it's showing that the engagement that you're doing fine, even if someone is sort of asking for that exposition. And I feel like in general, people are good about being like, oh, you're new to this. Like, I'm happy to just answer this question. And so you can now be a part of it moving forward.
Yeah, especially the fans that are like in it, right? Like they love it. Oh, I know where this is from. Here, let me explain that.
Yeah. Cinephobe, at least you can go back and listen to old episodes.
I think it helps if it's evergreen. Yeah.
Necessarily.
Yeah, all the episodes are evergreen.
Yeah.
So it's helpful to have that. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not interested in something that's trying to cater to the first listener every single time. I just don't think that's 100%, realistic.
I think that's something that like the Daily is here for, or like Fresh Air, or something on NPR. Like what I think that's stuff like exactly. Like yes, you're casting a wide net and seeing if you can capture everybody. Whereas like all fantasy everything. My friends do it. There are times where I'm like, yeah, this is pretty inside baseball. I know this stuff because I'm around you guys. Like, but there are times I'm like, I wonder if people get that. But people, all right, those are just funny people cycling through a guest. Most
but
episodes.
You can also go back with all fantasy everything.
Yeah, those are very evergreen. I think I started listening to Smartless maybe 2 years into their pod, and that's a little easier. But that was something where like, all right, I went back and listened to old ones. Like, oh, that's where they started doing this. Yeah. Oh, that's where they got that joke from. Whatever,
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to relate it to TV. I think you could watch an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. You could pick a random one and jump in and more or less get it. And it's similar in the way that if you wanted to go back and really figure out who these characters are, etc., you could.
Yeah. I think you could do that with The Simpsons. I think you could do that with like Community or Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
It's comedy, right? It's like because it's recurring jokes, stuff like that. Like it might hit better if you have more longevity, but you can't jump into The Bear season 3 episode 5 and be like, yep, this makes sense.
Yeah.
But like honestly, if the content is good, because I'm just trying to think of some of the podcasts that I've picked up that like were like 3 or 4 or 5 years into their existence. It's like the one that pops to mind is the Rights to Ricky Sanchez podcast. Like I'm like, there's a bunch of references that I don't understand from like so far back, but the show is it's not any worse for me because I don't understand those 3 references during like any given show. Like enough of the show is entertaining and I get it. I even know the taglines, even though I don't know where they come from. And it's just like, I think that that's actually the hallmark of like content done well, is that like you can have these references for your existing audience, but like even if someone doesn't get them, like I'm still gonna listen, like
yeah, I think that key is just like, is it inviting enough, is it entertaining enough that you feel like, okay, I could be in this kind of thing.
Skullbucket asks, suddenly, every time you speak into a microphone, you have a heavy accent from outside North America. Which accent do you choose?
Oh. It's a really good one.
Yeah, that is a really good one. That's like a really fucking good one.
I mean, obviously, I love the Scottish accent, but I don't think I would want that one. I might go like Italian. Like an old school, like Italian dude. Would be a fun accent to have.
I was thinking a lisping Catalan accent.
No, that's
Can you give us an example of that?
Barcelona.
Yeah. I had a Spanish teacher in middle school who had that type of accent, and I was like, okay, you're really doing this. This is intentional. This is not a speech impediment. This is on purpose.
My fourth, and then I think he was our teacher again for sixth grade, was this dude, Mr. De Silva. And he was from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And he had a great accent that obviously as children we mocked because it was the 90s. But he, like, thinking back now, like, that's a dope accent. Mm-hmm. That was a good one. Like he could really hammer some points home, but also be very fun at the same time.
My other answer is like a Charlotte Copley South African accent.
Oh, I don't like that accent.
You don't know what the fuck is happening. You don't know who this person is.
I don't love that.
It's a little bit British. It's a little bit Australian. It's a little bit African.
I was at the bar the other night, and there's this guy. One of the bartenders' name is Nikolai, and he's like a MMA dude, and like he like legitimately fights. Like he's good, right? Like he's like an amateur MMA guy. He's an actor. He's a stunt guy. Ear? He's a yes. And so like he's Russian, but he has a pretty American accent. Right? Like it's there a little bit. Yeah. But there was this dude that came up who was Russian, and one of the guys that I've met there, like, it was pretty crowded. And so he gave him, he was like, oh, get in there, get a drink or whatever. And the Russian dude said something and he goes, "You're Russian?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Nikolai, come over here, like serve this guy or whatever." And then they started talking in Russian for like probably 5 minutes as he was like making the drinks and everything. And I was like, that Russian accent's kind of dope. Like when it came out, like I heard it from the guy, and from the guy it was great. But like once I saw like Nikolai like kind of like slip into that Russian accent, I was like, yo, that's kind of a dope accent. Like it's very matter of fact and like no nonsense kind of thing. I wouldn't mind that.
So I'm like, this is maybe a little bit unfair because I'm using like media portrayal of like the Russian villain in general.
When in, that's like, how it sounded. That's how it sounded.
But it sounds. I actually think it sounds cool as hell. It's I
dead
love
on,
it.
and it's a great.
Yeah, I was like, I know that's a problematic reference, like a little bit, but it is. But like,
that's what it sounds. That's
we're
immediately what Nikolai like
yeah
slipped into. Well, I'm like, oh shit, this dude could be the next Peter Stormare.
Yeah, it's like no nonsense. You're not gonna mess with them. And like, it sounds cool. Like you're getting the point across and you can still understand it. I feel like, cause I was like, I feel like sometimes the issue with like heavy accents is that if you're genuinely having trouble understanding what they're saying, it's like, yo, I'm doing my best here not to be like an asshole, but like, I can't understand you. Like, I just can't.
I find Russian too harsh. Even if they're saying nice things, it's extremely harsh. They could be saying, "Look at this beautiful sky and this butterfly." And it's like
it sounds so mean.
It's like, okay, all right, that's a lot. Any other ideas, Eden? Any other accents? Because it's not speaking in the language; it's speaking English with the thick.
So I think accent. Like, even though like, yes, we all know the joke that I go to London sometimes and that I work for a British company.
What?
But I actually, I'm like, I don't know if I'm just like, so used to hearing it at this point. I'm a little desensitized to it, but I still like the British accent. Like, I think there's like an element of it not being too difficult to understand. Like, it is still a little bit like unique, like, that you can definitely tell that there's an accent there, but it's also like it's not an accent that you're gonna get made fun of either per se, which is like, the PTSD I have from like my childhood is like seeing people like.
I disagree. I think you will get made fun of it by a lot of people I know. If you have a London accent,
but it's like less racist as compared to like an Asian accent, like that's what I'm talking about. It's like I can't go for like an Asian, with like any Asian accent, it's racism at that point. But like
that's the thing. Like I actually think the Japanese accent is pretty cool. I couldn't pick that for me. That's gonna come off real. That's gonna
yeah.
Are you going like you're going posh?
Yeah, British? Yeah.
I hate
because there's so many different levels of the
There
English
is.
accent.
I learned that also when I was trying to do a British accent for my British peers, and they were just like, well, first of all, they were proud of me for even being willing to do it, but then they were just like, oh, honey, what are you even going for? Yeah, they were like, we can't actually tell which type of British accent you're going for, and I was like, yeah, I know, guys, I didn't want to do this. You guys, you guys basically made me.
Yeah, I hate the British accent on a man for sure. I don't like that. What is it? The Essex accent? Like, I think that's the one. I'm trying to think. Like, there's this. Who I think was she on The Circle? There was some like veteran reality show person who like was this hot British girl from I think Essex. And so I'm like, oh, I really don't like that one. But there are some British accents that I like on a hot girl, but I also have to recognize it's half that's probably the hot girl doing the work. But yeah, like for the most part, I don't like the British accent.
You want a hot girl?
You know who's I don't mind? I don't mind. I listened to a podcast recently with David Beckham on it. I was like, hey, all right, his British accent's not bad.
Accent.
Yeah, okay. I like his accent.
Yeah.
I don't like a Jason Statham one. I don't like his accent. Like it works for the movies, but like in real life, I could not talk to that guy.
No, the funny thing is, I feel like the first time I heard him talk on like an interview, not in a movie, I was like, oh, I thought he was like doing a thing for the movie.
That's just his voice. Yeah, he's just very much himself.
Yeah.
Tomless asks, what is your favorite 4th of July activity not involving fireworks?
Eating.
Food. Yeah.
Food.
I went to Ian Carmel's yesterday, and that dude got some ribs, some burgers, some hot dogs. Big green egged it. Like, oh my God. I was so full when I came home. Holy shit. That was so good. Yeah. Yeah, I don't even give a fuck about the fireworks. I kind of think like I'm over the fireworks at this point. Like they're going off in the background, so I'm like, all right, whatever. I don't mind like a big display. This is very curmudgeonly of me, but like the whole like doing fireworks on the street, that like stop.
Yo, does this happen flagrantly where you guys live? Like people have been setting off fireworks since Sunday, since I got home on Sunday, every single night. Last night, it basically started before the sun even went down. I'm like, can you guys wait until you can actually see them? And then like I woke up at like 2 a.m. to go pee, and there was fireworks going on then too.
Yeah. No, there was some guy that was at the barbecue yesterday was like, I heard people set them off at 8 a.m. today. I'm like, what? Like, what is even the payoff there?
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
It's fun for them, you know?
I guess. Like, but I don't give a fuck about fireworks. And I'm not even going to, like, Boogie doesn't get, he's not worried. Like, he doesn't get affected by it. He's not, like, shivering and stuff. So it's not even like, oh, my dog thing. Like, I'm just like, whatever. Like, I'm just here for the booze and the food and talk some shit. I just
want to know why in America... Of course, it's because America and we're behind all the other first world countries. But it's like, you know, in like most other countries have upgraded their fireworks systems to using just like the drones and like,
right.
Where you can do way cooler stuff and like it doesn't harm the wildlife and it doesn't scare your animals. Like I don't even have a pet, but I'm just saying like the technology is there. Use it, you know, like.
Yeah, but we made all these fireworks.
Oh, okay. Yeah, of course. We have all these fireworks. We might as well run out first.
I mean, we might as well, let's.
Joe unfortunately can't afford drone fireworks.
No.
I mean, he's got to get his own.
That's true.
Yeah, it's grilling and it's a pool. If you can have a pool.
Oh, pool. Yeah, I didn't get to. Unfortunately, our Cinephobe recording yesterday kept me from a pool, but
Cinephobe.
But yeah, normally I would love a pool it all day, barbecue in the evening. That's ideal for me.
All right.
I offered to dig Ian a pool.
He said no?
Sean Astin.
He said maybe.
Okay.
Sean Astin.
But maybe. Then we started figuring out like how long it would take us. And I said, well, I'm moving in. So, I'm working on site.
That's generous of you.
Yeah.
We Got a Fled says, is it weird to get food at your destination airport after you land? Yes. That's a weird move.
I guess it would depend. Like it depends on where you are. And if it's like a specialized thing there, I wouldn't hate it. But for the most part, man, I just want to get the fuck
out of the airport.
Yeah.
Eden had a traumatic experience with airport food recently.
She sure did.
Oh my God, you guys. First of all, a turkey club sandwich. I would just like to say,
hard to fuck up.
It is one of the most basic ass food items that like you can't fuck it up. Like it's turkey.
Some would say it's impossible.
Yes, some would say it's impossible, but like homeboy at LAX.
It's the name of the restaurant.
Is the name of the restaurant.
Yeah. Very important clarification.
She wasn't slipping into Bella Hadid here. Like this wasn't.
She wasn't singling out the homeboy that made her sandwich.
Right.
The name of the restaurant, Homeboy at LAX. I'm sorry, this was like the worst sandwich I've ever eaten, like in my life that I can remember. I'm just like, I didn't know if it was supposed to be hot or cold. It's like it didn't know what it was going for. It had all the ingredients that a turkey club would have: turkey, bacon, a piece of cheese, lettuce, tomato, like bread. You would just think that this is like a safe airport item to get. $18, mind you, before tax.
Oh, yeah, I don't doubt that at all.
Before tax, and also it was the size of a slider. It was 2 bites. I mean, thank God, because like I don't know how much more I could have taken of that terrible sandwich. But like I was just like, I just paid $18 for a sandwich that is the size of my palm. That was like not delicious. I just like, and I almost thought about not even finishing it, but I was just like,
the fuel.
I was desperate at that point. Yeah. Like I was like, my flight had gotten rebooked, delayed, rebooked, and then rebooked to a different airport. Like I wasn't even supposed to be at LAX. Like you guys told me to fly into John Wayne. And so that's where I flew into. And like I ended up at LAX anyway. And
she's breaking down. Oh my God. Poor Eden.
I didn't want to be there.
Oh my God. This is really I'm sorry to bring this up again. I didn't realize it was so traumatic.
I did it for the plot.
Yeah. Thank you.
As they would say.
I think it's weird to get food at your destination airport, period. You better be like about to pass out from hunger pains if you need to stop to get food. Otherwise, just, get out of the airport, go literally
get real food. Yeah.
If you know that, like, let's say you flew into New York.
I was going to say.
Yeah. And like, all right, it's going to take me like an hour plus to get into the city where I'm going and everything. Yes. Like maybe I should just grab some food. I'm starving, whatever. I could see that.
And if you happen to be craving Shake Shack, like it's right there.
It's right there. It's right on the corner there as you're about to turn.
I will vouch for the Shake Shack at the LGA. It's great. Like it tastes just like the Shake Shack I get on Fulton Street.
It's legit. Yeah, it's legit. Yeah.
That one's safe. Yeah. It still might be $18, but.
It's gonna be $18.
I was at the Salt Lake City airport and the prices were not high.
Salt Lake City is a different time, man.
I didn't understand. That's
still in the 1900s. Like
I've ever been at where I got a bottle of water and it was $2. I'm like, what is happening?
What?
Yeah,
that's cheaper than you can get at a normal convenience store in California.
Honestly, if you're gonna go grocery shopping, you should just fly to Salt Lake City, buy the water, and then it's gonna be cheaper than anything else.
I went to get 2 bubbly waters, expecting it to be $12.
Sure, of course.
And they were like $4.50.
As it should be.
$5.
And you're like, I got 2 of them.
Yeah, no, I got
another one.
Excuse me?
I don't remember the last time I paid less than $6 for a bottle of water while traveling. Or even natural, just like walking around New York, but mostly while traveling.
Yeah, I think I can find a $4 bottle of water here at like an independent liquor store.
$4.50 or something, like $4.58 after tax. Like
the other night, I may have been a little high.
Maybe allegedly.
I went to a 7-Eleven and I was like, I want some fucking ice cream. Like I'm gonna do this. And I went to the Ben and Jerry's. I started to grab it. And I looked out. It was $8. Like get the fuck out of here. And I left. I was like, that's not happening. $8 for some goddamn a pint of ice cream. Get the fuck out of here.
The crazy thing is when I go to the grocery store now and it's like on sale for like $4.99, I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing.
I gotta stock up. I gotta fill my freezer. Yeah.
The normal price, $8. Like $8.
That's crazy.
Jararak says, I'm at Grand Canyon National Park. What's your favorite national park and why? How many national parks have you been to, Eden?
National parks? Like... not that many. Like, so I grew
Arkansas
up in the
doesn't have a
natural. I
lot
was gonna
of
say, like, I
representation
grew
out
up
there.
in the natural state for one. So I will also say I feel like I got like pretty spoiled growing up in Arkansas and just really enjoying those parks to the point where ever since I left Arkansas, I don't really go seek out natural parks. Like, it's not that I don't want to, but like, you know, I've had some recommended to me in New York, like where you can like hop on a train and go upstate for like an hour.
But also Eden doesn't want to.
Yeah, to be honest, like it's just that was a user experience I experienced heavily growing up, and now I'm just like I don't like it that much. Like, I just don't need it.
Yellowstone to me is the GOAT.
Yeah,
I want to still go to Yellowstone. Like,
we would go there when I was a kid. We would go up. We drive up there a couple of times, and to me, that's just oh my god, like that's the absolute best.
But I also feel like, for example, in Yellowstone or like any actual good natural like national park, for example, that's like the destination. You can't just like go. It's not like I'm going to I don't know, where is a Yellowstone, like Wyoming or California?
It's like Wyoming, Montana.
Yellowstone has Jackson Hole, which is also just a super trendy town.
Yeah, that's like the entry point. Like you would go to Jackson Hole and like spend a day or two there because it's very trendy.
Yeah,
tourist spot, and then you would go into the park.
Yeah.
So like that, but we were just going for the park.
Because I will also say, like, I learned also in Taiwan that there's actually like a bunch of mountains that you can go hike, that you can just take public transport to, that I didn't get to do that much of because it was like mostly dominated by like family time. But I'm like, next time I will report back on those, because although those would be like Taiwan national parks, not US national parks, but I feel like I can still make it fit within the scope of this question.
Yeah.
So I think that counts. In 8 to 10 months. Yeah.
I mean, I hit like 10 to 15 or something on the road trip. So I saw a lot of national parks.
Yeah. Okay, rank them.
No, I can't do that. Some underrated ones. Acadia in Maine was really cool.
Oh, okay.
It's like way the fuck out there.
Yeah, I wouldn't have expected that one. Yeah.
It's right on the water. It's got some very cool like cliffs and stuff like that. That was underrated. I like the Great Smoky Mountains. That's in like Virginia, Tennessee area.
Oh, I've heard that's great. I've never been there.
Yeah, I've heard great things.
There's the Blue Ridge Parkway is this. It's basically like a skyline drive on top of a mountain that you can take, and it'll take you to the Great Smoky Mountains. Yellowstone was definitely very cool. I mean, Yosemite is a California classic.
I like Yosemite, but also like if I never went back, I wouldn't care. I want to go back to Yellowstone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Yellowstone.
So Yosemite is like you can just do it once, but Yellowstone is like highly recommend.
Well, I did Yosemite like as a kid.
Alien landscape. Like it's got so many different things because it's on top of a volcano that eventually will explode. That
wow!
It makes it. You know, it like the hot springs, the colors you can see in the ground.
Oh my god, they're nuts! Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like, naturally occurring colors.
Yeah.
Oh, I like didn't even know. I'm like actually interested now. I'm like not even being sarcastic. Like I didn't know all this. Like
no, it's pretty spectacular. Just the variety of like national park things you get all in one.
Yeah.
Because I'm not saying this about Yellowstone. I've never been there, but like as one of my friends loves to say, like you've seen one tree, you've seen one mountain, you've seen them all.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I definitely get that part of it.
You've seen one park, you've seen them all. Like,
I mean, the Grand Canyon
that's pretty dope.
Is pretty insane. If you haven't seen it with your own eyes, like
that's fair. Yeah.
It can't be summed up in a picture, because just standing in it or above it or looking around it, you feel
I know I would
tiny.
love to go. Yeah. I would love to.
Even Maze feels tiny there.
I feel tiny. It made me feel small. It made me feel cradled and held.
Yeah.
Snug.
And I feel like it would just be fun to like stand on the edge, you know? Like I love that feeling.
Oh, yeah,
of, like,
absolutely.
And then you just sing "I'm on the edge of glory." Yeah.
Hold up a little lion cub, you know, that vibe. And then
I've thought about just like where I'm like, I should just fucking drive to the Grand Canyon today. And I'm like, it's like 8 hours.
It's just too far away.
It's just, if it was 6, no question.
No, I feel like 6.5 hours is the line. Like,
if it was 6, I'd be like, no question. I'm gonna leave at 7 a.m. You know, get there right after lunch. hang out for a little bit, just walk around, check some things out, just zen out, and then I'll drive home. But yeah, it's like almost 8 hours. I'm like, that's a little too far.
And then the Utah parks, my favorite one was Zion. Zion was really
incredible. Cool. Yeah.
That one
that park just needs to stay healthy, but it's really spectacular.
It's pretty big.
It's real big. Yeah. It's bigger than it should be.
It also has a good diversity of like, there's the Narrows. I mean, Emily went. Emily told us about it, I think, after she went. But there's the Narrows, which is that hike where you're basically like up to your chest in water at certain points. And then there's also like Angel's Landing where you can hike up and overlook everything. So that's a very cool one as well.
My plan for not this September, but next September is Everest Base Camp. I feel like that's the ultimate national park.
Yeah. International park, you might say.
Yeah. Well, it's national there.
Yeah.
My friend did that. My friend did that. Was it last year? Maybe it was 2 years ago, but
I like that. I posted on Instagram with an arrow to base camp, right? Like picture said like, next September, whatever. And people are like, you're going to climb Everest? I was like, no.
Nope.
No.
I'm going
to hike to the base camp, which is still not easy from what I hear. Like it's
still not easy.
It's tough.
But it's not. It's what?
I'm never going to
of the way up.
Yeah, it's about it's like 17,000 feet, I believe.
It's insane. I mean, the wildest thing that I saw there was the airport. Like the airport that you fly into is like above a fat cliff, and it is not a long runway, and it is a tight landing there.
Yeah.
All right. RGG says, what do you bring to the summer cookout? What is your go-to buffet style edition?
Whatever is needed. I always just like, all right, you need like sometimes like, hey, just bring ice.
Yeah.
Bring we need bags of ice, bring drinks, if you want me to make something, I'll make something. You want to bring chips with chips. But I never like, ooh, let me bring this for it's just like, what do you need? I'm just trying to fill in the gaps.
So I'm not quite that accommodating, but I'm like, I will bring the hits, like I'll bring the original Lays.
Yeah.
I'll bring the original Lays.
Yeah.
I will bring
fucking Disneyland this barbecue. Like,
I'll bring the fucking original Lays. I will bring like beer or like something just like very amicably agreed on food item that like, probably just maybe no one else thought of. So, I'm actually being the considerate one by just like bringing a classic original bag of original Lays. I don't know. Maybe we do the wavy Lays sometimes if we want to get
you want to get nuts? Yeah.
Yeah. Or pretzels even. Like I'm just saying these are always like hits.
A hummus and like pretzel or carrot combination or something like that. A bean dip. Bean dip's always like a underrated one.
It is. The hummus is for that person that, wants to eat healthy. And so they get like 2 pieces of carrots with some hummus. Like,
go to a lot of LA barbecues. This is
clearly, because I'm like, wow, that's not even on my list. But
absolutely terrible. I don't want any part of that.
I'm like, I'm not touching that hummus, but like, go Zach.
I love hummus.
It is great. It's just, I'm not going for it at the 4th of July barbecue is all I'm saying.
The go-to buffet style potluck dish is the mac and cheese. That's the
I knew you were gonna say
easiest one. But I mean, if
someone had a smoked Gouda mac and cheese that they made.
Interesting.
I threw that bitch in a hot dog bun, put a hot dog on top of it. Oh, pretty good.
Okay.
A drizzle of like just a light mustard just to get a little condiment on there, and it was a little bit of all right.
I'm stuck on the smoked Gouda mac and cheese.
Yeah, that was legit on its own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then usually I'm down to help out on the grill regardless, but I'd probably bring like a tri-tip or a steak or, some hot dogs, something to involve myself in the grill making process. But if I don't want to do that,
green egg, there's not a lot of grill room
you
there.
Can't really, you can't really amateur it.
Ian was just in a Boogie Cousins Team USA jersey. Had his apron on, like just
in the
I love the Boogie Cousins jersey.
He was as patriotic as it got. Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Tim says, if you could bring back a canceled TV series, what would it be?
Ooh.
A canceled TV series.
And then Abuelo Mijo said Firefly.
Never saw it.
It was good. That's a
that
good
was
one.
like cult classic, I feel.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of good people in that went on to do a lot of other things, which is a staple of a good canceled TV show.
I mean, normally, like, 20 years ago, I would have said Arrested Development, but they did that.
It wasn't that great.
Not tight.
Yeah.
Not tight.
It was a little tight, and then they kind of just kept it going too much.
Yeah. I still haven't watched the 5th season. I just won't. Like, I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, they've started doing this more. Like, they brought back Frasier. And I just didn't care and didn't even have any ounce of
I'm rewatching Cheers. Cheers is a banger, man. Cheers still holds up. Still holds up. Like, it's incredible how good that show is today. Trying to think what got canceled. I mean, I would do more of that.
I would do a 20-year high school reunion Freaks and Geeks episode, like 1 hour long show. I was sad that it got canceled at the time, but they all went on to do better things, so it's fine.
This one's actually, I just found my answer. It's very easy. Winning Time. Give me that.
Yeah.
That's what I want. I wanted more Winning Time.
The season where they actually win?
Yeah. I want the whole story. You're supposed to do the whole story. I want the whole story.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's a good one. Trying to look at some other ones here.
Yeah, I'm looking up canceled TV shows.
Eden, you liked Hannibal, right?
Yeah, Hannibal was really good. Really good. I was a big fan of that. The one with Mads Mikkelsen and Hugh Dancy. Yeah, that was dark. It was messed up. So my type of show.
Eden, 1899. The Dark.
Oh my god!
Creators, how they did that show, and then they canceled that after one season.
I'm so upset. I'm so upset about that. Still upset about that. Yeah.
I know I never saw it, but I know people liked Veronica Mars. Well, they did 72 episodes.
They brought that back a couple times. They had like a movie. Happy Endings was a good one.
Oh, Happy Endings wasn't bad. Yeah. I hate that guy.
The main guy.
I hate him. He has the worst hair in TV history.
That was a classic show where they like completely abandoned the pilot plot and then the show got good. Yeah.
I mean, Party Down, I know they brought it back. I still haven't watched the new ones, but Party Down was one
they brought back, and that was another one where it's like, okay. Yeah. It was very quick.
See, I think the thing is like, for this, it's not about bringing it back. It's about never having it canceled, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's a better way to.
I kind of think that's the way we have to look at it. Like, I wish Party Down hadn't been canceled.
Struggling to think of things that have been canceled because, like, once they're canceled, I move on. You know,
Mindhunter.
That was.
It didn't really get canceled. They just like Fincher essentially said he wasn't doing it anymore.
Yeah.
That I could have used more of that show. Glow was a good show. I could have used more of the
never
Lady
got
Wrestling
into Glow.
show.
Yeah.
Last Man on Earth. I don't really think that really got canceled.
Oh,
actually, I guess
I just saw one.
did.
Yeah, Last Man on Earth, that got canceled. That was a good show. Carnival was a great show on HBO.
I remember it, but I don't think I watched it. Yeah.
I'm glad that Westworld got canceled.
Thank God.
Could have gotten canceled a little earlier, honestly.
I stopped sometime in season 3. I said, I'm all right.
I think I tried to watch season 3 and it just didn't.
Yeah, I maybe made it 2 episodes in. I was like, I think I got the gist.
Yeah, it was rough. It was rough.
But yeah, I think that's an important distinction, Zach, that it's not about bringing it back. It's about not canceling it in the first place.
Right. Which then Arrested Development would be the right answer because had they kept that going, then I think it's a better show. Freaks and Geeks would have been interesting had they like if that went like 5 seasons.
It needed to end. I mean, it's weird because I mean that show they never really gave a chance. Right. Because they were fucking with the release times as it was airing. Like it would be on a Saturday one week and then it'd be on a Tuesday and then it'd just not be on for a week.
No idea what to do with it. Yeah.
and this was very early TiVo, and it was confusing the TiVo. Me and my dad were trying to chase it down and figure out when it was going to be on. So that was one of the, like, if that had been on streaming, or if that had been at a different time, or any number of things, I think it would have worked out. But also,
I think Party Down's one of those where it's like, it kind of like we're talking about Always Sunny, right? That's something like you could have, if they kept that going, you could have just jump into any episode and like start to get the gist of it and then go back and catch up.
Did you finish The Bear, Zach?
I still have the last episode.
So the last episode.
Did that release all at once? The season?
Of course it did. You didn't, because they're trying to kill me.
Love it.
I don't
do that.
See, when I saw that it was released, I was like, oh, I don't need to watch it for at least 3 weeks before I have enough.
No, it was all at once. I guess I got to see how it ends, how the season ends. But I've heard, I haven't seen, because I don't read the reviews, but like, yeah, I've seen a lot of people saying like, oh, it's got mixed reviews. I'm like, how? This show's so fucking good.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's still really good. I think everybody's really good. I think the filmmaking is excellent. It just wasn't as good as season 2.
I don't know, man.
Because that was an exceptionally, like, it exceeded expectations, and it kind of caught people off guard. Whereas, and then this was a little bit lower.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I guess like season 2 was an 11 out of 10, and I think this is like a 9.5 out of 10.
Sure.
Right? Like it's
and I think it's
nothing but bangers to me.
Season 2, season 1, season 3, and it's still all at a very high level.
Sure, like the first episode of season 3 is just one of the most incredible pieces of art I've ever seen in television.
I agree.
That is like that was an unbelievable tone setter, and maybe after that there's a little bit of a letdown with the rest of the season, just because episode 1 is so artistic.
But also a lot of people were thrown off by that, and I think that is,
but why,
sort of their intention.
Yeah, maybe. I also I've seen people say like, oh, it's too Chicago for season 3. I'm like, I don't think so. And I'm not a big Chicago person. Like, I'm like, I don't see that as a theme of season 3, that it's like, oh, Chicago's a main character. I'm like, no, it's as much a character as it always has been.
Yeah, I don't agree with that, really. I mean, I think the first episode was a little too artistic for people who wanted them to get right back to what they had done.
Yeah, I guess. I felt like that got me in it. Like, that got me so excited. And then the Ice Chips episode with Jamie Lee Curtis, like, it's funny. Like, I tweeted this where I said, once a season, the Bear just unleashes Jamie Lee Curtis and she puts an acting clinic on.
Yeah.
And someone was like, oh, really? You thought that was good? I'm like, what the fuck are you watching? Like that, and the Thanksgiving episode, or was it Christmas, whatever the holiday episode in season 2 was? Yeah. Like, I don't know if everyone has been around a borderline deranged family member in a holiday setting, whether it's you or you're at someone's family and their person's just acting like that is dead on acting. That is like the most perfect representation of what that character is supposed to be in that episode. And then again, God, like, she was making me so uncomfortable in this season's episode. Yeah. But that's the point, is it's supposed to be like, this person is really difficult to be around. And this is such a heightened situation where they need her around. And like that, I mean, I thought it was perfect acting.
It was, once you realize that you're only going to be with the two of them in the hospital for the entire episode, it's like, okay, buckle up. It was well executed for what it was. Obviously, it's not a feel good.
No, but none of that shows a feel good.
It doesn't have to be. I mean, I think episode 6, Napkins with Tina, is my favorite episode of this season.
Oh, really? I thought that was probably the weakest episode.
That's interesting.
Mostly
why do you think it was the weakest?
I just thought it did a bad job of making her story more compelling. Once it gets to the conversation with John Bernthal, like once it gets to that, it's great. I just thought the lead up, I was like, I get it. I just felt like it kind of dragged in getting there. But once they like connect, it's fantastic. I didn't like the lead up to it.
I get that. I guess it's because you know how it's going to end. Does that impact your feelings about it at all?
Maybe I need to rewatch it, but yeah, like that might be seeping in of I knew how it was going to end, so the stakes were lower for me or whatever.
I like the let's spend some time with a supporting character episodes.
Sure, me too. And I love her character. I don't know, it wasn't that compelling to me.
And it is, the highlight is for sure the conversation with Mikey,
which they nail.
Which they absolutely
that seems
nailed.
So perfect. Yeah.
Biggest weakness by far though, John Cena.
Not great.
I
like him. I'm not a yeah.
I
think he's good. Like I think he was good in whatever the fuck that show was where he's a superhero.
Yeah, Punisher.
That one, yeah.
Peacemaker.
Yeah, it's like definitely. I mean, look, Punisher, I don't know shit about comic books. I know it's not. Yeah, I thought he was great in that show. I thought he was fun in Ricky Stenicki. Like I think he's good.
He's fine. It just he's not a fact.
It didn't fit. No, it didn't fit with that family in the slightest.
It's like, oh, one of the facts is insanely jacked. No,
right. These other two dudes are just sloppy, disgusting guys, and it's like, oh, but here's
like brothers, and then it's like, oh, one of our brothers is a super freak.
Yeah, and looks nothing like us.
Yeah. I mean, that was the stunt casting that like some people have complained about. Oh, this is what the Bear does. They just stunt cast every guest role. It's like, okay, like maybe John Cena was out of place a little bit.
But who's another one that doesn't fit?
I don't think any of them don't fit. But like
I think
guess
Joel
saying
McHale is
Josh Hartnett,
dickhead.
Joel McHale is perfect.
He's so good in that role. What's her name? Coleman.
Olivia Colman. Excellent.
Olivia Colman. She was great.
Poulter, excellent.
Yeah.
I mean, all of the casting has been exceptional. It's just the John Cena one is the one where I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe this one was a little too far.
Yeah. I actually could use more of the Joel McHale asshole chef.
Well, you got the finale coming up, so.
That's true. I do.
No spoilers.
Maybe you'll get it.
Or maybe I won't.
Maybe you won't. Yeah.
Tune in to find out.
The main reason that it is slightly below the first two seasons to me is because and I've heard them talk about this. This was originally, and Eden's gonna love this part. This was originally designed as a 3-season show. That they extended to a 4-season show.
See,
and so the arcs of the third season for most of the characters feel incomplete.
Supposed to be, yeah.
And it will be completed in the 4th season. But of course, we're gonna have to wait however long for that 4th season. So,
I don't mind. I'm willing to like see how they tie that up.
Exactly.
I think it'll probably.
You gotta wait for the finished product. It'll end up being great.
Fine.
It'll end up being like the 4th season will be, a bounce back, or it'll be it'll exceed expectations once again. But what happens is that and this is kind of happened with House of the Dragon too. I mean, it's not nearly at the House of the Dragon level. But House of the Dragon, the entire first season was to set up the 2nd season.
I hate that. Yeah.
And that's kind of what's happening with the Star Wars show right now. It's like, okay, let's fucking
we don't need a whole season of world building. Like if you need an entire season of world building, then you're doing something wrong.
Then what was this season for? Like, why can't we get like a 1 hour montage?
I couldn't get into the Continental. I'm just like, I know the world.
Yeah.
Let's get some shit going. Like, I don't need the origin. I think the origin of it's cool. I'd like to, but this isn't really that either.
Also, between Bear season 2 and 3, was it a full year? I feel like it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, it was? Okay.
No, they've actually done a really incredible job of
staying on a schedule.
Like every season has been all released all at once, basically a year apart, and they shoot it and edit it and put it together really quick, which is amazing considering. Especially in that first episode, Zach, like how much shooting they must have done.
Shit, I can't even imagine.
All the food, all the people, it's because it's basically all B-roll. It's kind of like it's all set to music. So it's like there's not like a normal script for that episode.
No, it's all just like vision.
It's a pastiche. It's like let's shoot a bunch of things and then merge them together into one.
Pastiche Siakam.
100%.
Wow.
Yeah, you like that one?
That was good. That was good. I like that one. Yeah.
You had to think about it a little bit of like, how am I going to accept this or am I going to reject
But I
this?
actually giggled too hard not to give y'all that one.
Yeah. So I think that it's understandable, as it is with any show that hits the level that the Bear was at, that people have to come out and push back and say that something's not good. They do.
They don't. Yeah.
They do.
They don't.
This is how we do it.
This is the world in 2024.
Just pretend you have friends and fucking enjoy something.
No. Zach, we just went through a whole NBA season where we did this to the Celtics and then they won the championship. You know, it's like
they had something to prove.
Right. But we were pre-shitting on them. Like, even before they won, we had to tear them down with the Celtics.
Bears already won.
Well, that's why we extra have to tear them down. Imagine what we're going to do to the Celtics next year.
Once you've won, you're goated, my boy. Like, you're done.
I'm not going to lie. I love the line of pretend you have friends. Like, go pretend you have a life.
Any of these motherfuckers who are just finding something to complain about. Like, just pretend you have a friend and act like it.
Just pretend like you have a life.
God, it drives me crazy.
Just pre-record your own officiant and marry yourself.
Go do that. Go do that.
I'm upset again.
I think Succession avoided this. Right? There was never really a moment where people were like, Succession has lost
people were
its heater.
shitting on season 4, weren't they?
I mean, I'm sure somebody was, but I felt like in overall, I felt like it mostly avoided it. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe it happens.
I was a little late to it, so
maybe.
Yeah.
But I think it's natural for people to be late
just
to the party, expect something to be the way they think it's going to be, and then be like, well, this was dumb. This was stupid. So,
but they just do that to get attention, to be the ones
also to get engagement.
Which is not real.
It's not real, you guys. Like Zach said, go make friends. Go make friends.
Or just pretend you did.
Yeah, or just pretend. Yeah, we don't actually need you to have friends.
I don't believe you can do it. I just need you to pretend that you did it.
And then you can go to countthedings.com and buy tickets for you and your pretend friends.
Yes.
All of them.
Mm-hmm.
For the live show in New York City, July 20th, Saturday at Racket NYC.
Yo, that's in like 2 weeks. Oh my God.
In 2 weeks, yo. We'll be there.
Yes, it is coming up.
It's a home game for Eden.
Amin has said that if you buy current merch and bring it to the live show, he will take unlimited pictures with you. Unlimited.
Did he said this?
He said this on OG and maybe on Cinephobe or something.
Said it multiple times now.
Yeah, he said it multiple times. If you bring a friend to the live show, not imaginary, you bring a friend to the live show that has not previously been in this, I'll take 2 photos with you.
Yo,
I've
2 photos? Two Zach photos?
If you bring merch, if you're wearing merch or whatever, current merch, I will give you 1 photo. You bring a friend that's not really about this Count the Dings life, I'll take 2.
2 photos.
Yeah.
No, is it 2 total or
merch,
1 for the current merch or 2 for...
we'll add on. Yeah,
okay.
So that you could be upwards of 3.
Whoa, yo.
You try to take a 4th, you'll be escorted out.
Yeah, you'll be bounced, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
that's my deal to you.
Explode.
It will.
Your phone
I will take your phone and throw it against the wall.
It'll self-destruct, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or Zach's version
of
manually destroying it. Good luck. You'll send the 3 images to the cloud, and then you will destroy the phone with the 4th one on it.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yes. The 4th one cannot exist.
Yes.
Racket NYC, July 20th, 2 weeks away. Can't wait. Very exciting.
It's going to be so fun.
To
oh
Eden.
my God.
Thank you to Zach. I'm Maze. This has been the Mailbag. And we'll catch you next time.
Bye.